clairvoyance. Clairvoyance. Intuition is a leap forward from fragmentation. Okay, it is the unconscious recognition of pattern. Okay, but the German psychologist Jung list the recognition of well, let's go back. Jung recognized as one of the four functions of topology. You know, Amy, I don't know that my eyes are going to let me read tonight. I've got this stuff on the screen as much as big as I can get it.
Okay.
Why don't you read? I'll try and get it a little bigger, and maybe I'll try it next time. Why don't you read this?
Okay, sounds good. Well, I can kind of just offer some things up and then you can jump in
Okay.
here and there. Yeah, so we're intuition. So we're with intuition. And I think, so we're talking about intuition here and a gift of this third eye. So I think, it's interesting because intuition cannot be forced. It's not something that you're like, okay, let me intuit. It's really, it occurs by a process of opening and receiving. Again, not a passive experience at all, but there is some sense of humility in it, kind of a willingness to listen. Um, Without it, I think this is interesting. So without intuition, we live entirely unconsciously, or at least in the unconscious mind. And when we're within intuition or listening, acting out of intuition, that's when we really grasp the whole or the essence, the truth of something. And sometimes we get it just like a glimpse, a taste, and then other times it maybe feels like we rest there for longer periods of time. Again, intuition, it really, and Mary, this is why I was like, wow, you kind of queued us up perfectly for this because intuition really does require surrender. So here we are back to this word. And I think in some ways we're exploring surrender all the way up through each chakra. Um, but with intuition, it really is, it's kind of setting aside the egoic mind, logic, all the things we think we know and opening to another way of seeing and really receiving the information that comes in from that place, really from the place of mystery. It's, I thought I know a bit, I don't know everything. I mean, in some ways, this is, yeah, I think how I experience prayer often. So we live in a culture, and I think again, Mary, as you said, and I think as we've all been exploring, we live in a culture that, of course, favors logic, and that egoic mind over intuition. In some ways, we're conditioned out of it. Think about growing up and all the hunches we get, all the gut instincts, all these, and often it's like it's dismissed by others, and then we internalize that as children. Even our experience in dreams and in the imaginal realm. If you think about maybe walks in the forest where you experienced fairies or you built forts and I mean, Peg, maybe your rabbits were more than rabbits when you were a child, you know. But all that gets, kind of cast away. And so we learn to grow up. And so we take on this egoic mind. Yeah, Granny J, you've got something to say, I see.
Yeah, I do. If you use your logical mind for things, things get broken down into pieces. Whereas with intuition, there's a wholeness to it. There's a wholeness, there's a pattern to it. And I think that's the major difference between the two.
Hmm. I love that so much because especially in a world where everything is so separated and isolated and we see pieces of it, we break it down and treat everything in isolation. This ability to see in wholeness and to see from a more expanded, greater perspective is so important. Yeah, you feel that, Jen. Yeah. Yeah, and
It's it's a different consciousness. You have to release the ego to get to this other consciousness. So it's a different consciousness. Um, yeah.
so let's stop here for a minute because I think this is a good opportunity for us to share a bit. And so let's see. I think let's do this in pairs. So yeah, well, I'm gonna get us in pairs. And the invitation here is gonna be simply to what is your experience with intuition? You know, do you remember a time where you received some intuitive guidance or some intuitive knowing, and maybe there was strong resistance, maybe you trusted it. Um, but yeah, let's share a little bit here. It's important to help us gather evidence. Let's see. Okay. All right, we'll do this for, let's say, 10 minutes. All right, we'll see you back here in 10 minutes.
So I need to try and get my screen brighter. So
With intuition.
I would say that the more you examine the intuitions that surface in us, the more you examine who you are inside, and the closer you can get to the real you.
Can I quote you on that?
Yeah. We actually landed right back in the room as Mary was dropping the mic with some big truths. So I was like, okay, and then we are. But yeah.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, it is interesting. Back to, the point about the demon being illusion. So just that deep knowing that is the truth of who we are, yeah,
Mhm.
deep within us.
Mhm.
Somebody
Mary-
gonna say something else?
Somebody else is gonna go.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, anything else before we move on? I feel like there's something bubbling. Yeah.
Question. I would love to hear anybody's like just a little deeper on how the demon is illusion. I just would like to get, I mean, a little more concrete. Is it illusion about, I mean, I can say it's illusion about who I am, but I'm trying to get just like a little peel back a little bit more than that.
Yeah. Well, I'll say for me, from my experience, it's like we see what we want to see. We can get really attached to the story. We can create a
Mhm.
story around something.
Okay.
We can really limit. This is where like false beliefs and everything come, but then it really, our way of seeing and our knowing is very much constrained by the stories that we tell ourselves and all of the conditioning and so that's the illusion, is that we're seeing simply part of reality. We're not
yeah,
seeing
everyone would walk into a situation. All of us could walk into exactly the same situation and not have exactly the same experience. Simply because of our prior conditioning and how we would look at that at any experience. We all have a method we've developed by which we look at a situation and analyze it. See, there's those pieces we're talking about.
Mhm.
Life isn't pieces. Life is a wholeness. It's a whole experience. It's like you, instead of being in a movie, so that they're taking the movie and you're on the film, and that's your dimension. It is the whole thing. You're in it. It's a movie line. Okay. And we've talked before about that one shouldn't hold on to, become attached to any of our prior beliefs, etc. You sort of have to say, okay, this is what I've believed. Okay. And it served me really well. I'm really grateful for it. However, let me open the door so new light can come into it and expand that out and join it with a bigger picture. We're always doing that with all the things that we are attached to. We need this more bigger, wholer picture so that we can basically, I think we have to basically eventually even release that and move into a higher consciousness that operates on a different plane than we're operating now. That's what the seventh chakra is about. I don't know. How's that feeling? How's it feel to you, Marcia? Mary?
Oh, I do think it's on a different plane. It's, like you said, a different level of consciousness. And I think as we move up those chakras, that's what this is all about, is shedding all the reality of what's surrounded us with in our lives and our cultures and our labeling and our categories and our logic. Just shedding some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Can I?
Mary's been shedding her love of mowed lawn for a beautiful lawn that just grows as it wants to grow, as God created it. She's been shedding that.
What a metaphor. Yeah, Tammy.
Well, with Carla talking about the demon of illusion, one thing came to my mind as an example. I remember a while ago reading about just sort of watching who you think you are and who you really are, and how wide that gulf is. Because to me, that can be illusion. You think you're this, you think you're liberal, you think you're environmental, you think you're kind, you think, but what is the real way you live? So
Okay.
getting out of that illusion of, am I really?
You're pigeonholed by other people and you buy into the pigeonholes too.
Yeah. And we
That
can
was really
also
helpful.
pigeonhole ourselves,
Yeah.
because you want to be this, but are we really? So,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh. This is really good, Tammy, because we're not going to get into this tonight, but it's going to connect to some of the stuff around the relationship between the sixth chakra and identity. This is like the place of social identity, personality. So that's good. So this is good. Oh, see, it's like emerging, this wisdom emerging from the depths of us. Yeah.
It is.
All right, Granny J, do you want to say something about connecting intuition and the more we act intuitively to clairvoyance and what clairvoyance is?
I really can't do that. I'm just really having trouble yet.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll offer a few little pieces of inspiration here and see if you want to pick up anything around that. Um, yeah, so it's I think it's interesting here what we're wanting to explore is what it means to live more and more out of our intuition or trusting our intuitive knowing. And as that occurs more and more, this sixth chakra continues to open up more and more and more. As Jen, she had some beautiful language here around Granny J. I'll just read this to you. Jen says, intuition's always ushering us into expansion or expanding while illusion keeps us more narrow. And so as we open up and expand ourselves to this broader perspective, we then open ourselves up to the possibility of clairvoyance and transcendence, where we really move out of this personal identity, this egoic identity, which we've been moving up into a much wider, unifying sense of who we are, and therefore into this way of seeing, which is this clairvoyance. Is that inspiring anything there, Granny Jane? You want to say anything around that?
It I think clairvoyance, like intuition, is developed through some sort of a conscious surrender to our unconscious mind. Because what we've been talking with is our conscious mind. What we need to go to is our unconscious mind, because that's what's real. That's what's real.
It's yeah, and by unconscious, sometimes we use subconscious, but it's like it is the mystery. It's the thing beyond our knowing, beyond our what our mind and thought and linear thought patterns can wrap our mind around.
Right. Yeah. Our linear mind can't understand. But this, when we get into a higher state of consciousness, then we grasp there's just knowingness. There isn't queuing and A and reading and trying to find out. It's a state of knowingness. You just know.
Is this maybe a piece of creativity in terms of you're going along and you're stumped and you know you're looking at one thing and you wake up the next morning and all of a sudden it's like, oh, going in the wrong direction, it's this way.
Absolutely. That's exactly what it is.
Okay.
But that you had to stop and sleep,
Yeah.
which in a way is surrender,
Oh.
letting loose.
Oh.
Letting loose of your conscious control. And when you did that, the subconscious, the truth of the universe flowed in. I call them my guides come in and guide me in the right direction.
In other words, we open the doors while we're sleeping.
That's right. That's what we do.
Okay.
That's what we do. Yeah.
Golly, it's so
I
beautiful.
wonder if that has anything to do with the veil, like about 4:30 in the morning, my veil is real light. If that's the unconscious mind becoming conscious at that level.
Unconscious mind coming through, Mary.
Right.
It's coming through, yes. And the more you're willing and feel safe with that and open it up, the more it flows through to you, even in normal times. It's sort of like when you get into a state of puzzlement and you stop and just let it go for a minute. Sometimes you allow the unconscious to flow through also. But that's a good example.
Are you kind of relating this like to dreams and dream work? Because
Well, in a way it is, but a dream is a deliberate message. It's symbolic. The message it's delivering is in symbols to you. So you have to learn to read symbols. That's a part of the sixth chakra, is learning to understand that like the dreams are symbols, but they are messages to you, because we all have guides. We're not here alone. We all have guides. And that's one way they communicate. Yeah. Thank you.
Beautiful. What else? Anything else? Yeah, I'm starting to feel into this, huh? I feel it. Let's see here.
Are you about ready to turn it loose on what we
Yeah,
need
I'm
to
just,
do
yeah,
next?
yep. I just wanted to take a look to see if there's anything else. Um,
You've done a good job of bringing up the points without us having to read about them.
yeah. I'm looking you all because as you probably know by now, Granny J, she does talk about the unconscious coming through. She downloads these lessons, there's like incredible work that's put into this and so I'm just paying attention to what had come through. But yeah, I think that what we're going to do is bring it to a close tonight. We want to set up some stuff for what's to come as we move into the seventh chakra. And then we're going to, some of what we were intending to do tonight, we're going to use as a foundation as we start to set that seventh chakra.
Right, we're not forgetting some of the stuff in here that we want to add it in.
Yeah.
But we think maybe it is time that we all tackle a really complex book called The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. And I know some of you have read this. I know probably all of you have heard this. And we felt that we're not from an Indian culture, and the chakras are from an Indian culture. We need to sort of get back to our own culture in order to under understand how we as Americans from American culture can enter into the seventh chakra. And we think maybe this book might be helpful. The Power of Now. Now means present time. There is no past time, and there is no future time. There is only present time. And I'm going to tell you that this past week, I was out of present time most of the time. And so I spent some time today doing, particularly just before tonight, doing a little project called Location Happiness in order to get more into present time. But there are processes that are available to you for one to use to do that. So in reading Toll, I think the place for you to start is if you have the book, pull it back out. But before you read it, I'm just going to suggest that you go online and type into Safari or Google or whatever you use, the essence of the power of now, or the essence of Ernest of Toll, and it will give you the essence of what the book is, because he's written the book in a very deliberate way. He tells you how you write it, but if you look at the essence of it and have that as an overview, I think it will guide you through the book. I don't know how what can you say, Amy, that might help them?
Well, as we were, I think the question for us the whole time is how do we introduce and teach and experience each one of these chakras? And as we moved into these spiritual upper chakras, it's the gift and the challenge is that it's so much of it's our own deep inner experience. And so when we get to the seventh chakra, it really is about it's being in the now. That's what it is, being totally connected and simply being in the present. And so we thought working with this text would be a good way to support our own inner personal journey, but also grow and share together in community. And so that's what the intention is to guide us through the next few weeks working in the seventh chakra. Yeah, and I think, I mean, presence, to really work with presence and to see our bodies as designed to cultivate that, to be that through this crown chakra is, man, I feel it's everything.
Yeah, and you see, you can't put it in words. You know, one of the problems is you just cannot really put it into words.
It's funny. One of the things talk about intuition, I was brought to this book. Maybe some of you are familiar, Louise Hay. I mean, she's like a grant, yeah. Um, I, so I, her whole thing and, is that disease comes, and I know we've been exploring this together, but comes from these unhealthy emotional and spiritual patterns. And that when you are in the present time, those dissolve. They just, that's what healing is that there's a healer that is there with you to bring you into present time. And in doing that, those energetic patterns loosen. I mean, that's the tuning fork and all that. But so presence and the sacrament of presence of that seventh chakra, we're kind of getting into the seventh. But is healing. It's extreme unction. That's what that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So wow. Okay. So I wonder, I'm wanting to kind of have our time here to close out the sixth before we end. Granny J, is there anything else we want to say about?
I'll type up something for you on the power of now to send out. Okay.
Okay. Sounds good. So that's where we are, a bit about where we're headed. And yeah, let's do a little checkout here.
Can I ask a quick question? Are we wanting to read it before our next time or like familiarize
Yeah.
dip
Read
into
out what you can. Yes.
Yeah, but not the whole thing. We're going to continue to work through with that text for the next couple of weeks or the next couple of months as we're engaging the seventh chakra. Yeah. We'll give a little bit more clarity out in the email. But for now, I think the suggestion is to start with the essence as like an overview, and then we'll try to get a little bit more clarity out. Yeah. Okay. Oh, Bo wants to come in. Can you all see him? He's trying to get in here.
Wait, where is he? Oh, I thought he was on the bed. That's not him, though.
He's under the door.
Oh, buddy, come on in, Bo. Oh, Bo. He's like, Anna needs more dogs. Anna needs all the dogs today.
You can feel you're almost done. He's like, come on, come on.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Yeah, let's check out. Just let us hear, how are you? Is it something you've received? Just wanting to hear our voices here at the end.
I've just got a quick story that I was reminded of. And, I live in a town that's next door to Fermilab, the National Accelerator Laboratory, where they split atoms and find quarks and all this kind of stuff. And so I live among physicists, and we have physicists in the neighborhood, and they were introducing me to string theory and how mathematically they have proven that there are multiple dimensions. They can actually grasp 4, but actually there's more than 200. And I was thinking to myself, so where is God in all this? I must have found God in dimensions. I was thinking about how, the great cloud of witnesses that are all around us. And I thought, oh, I found it. And, so I'm going through string theory and all this physical stuff. And so I was talking to a physicist friend of mine about it. And I said, I think I found God in one of these dimensions. And he said, oh, if you think that, you're thinking way too small. I was like, I was completely blown away. And this is the same sort of thing, right? When you think you reach enlightenment, you find out that you're just beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, the definition of God is quite fascinating because the way we talk about God, we're thinking of him as a white man, you know, but a consciousness may be better, creative consciousness might be a better definition. Do not put any body parts or spirit, you know. But this stuff, I often think of evolution, which has been evolving along on our planet now for 7 billion years. And the planet's going through an evolution too, but it got started somehow. And whoever started it, or, you know, the starting of it and the protection of it, the consciousness, there's a consciousness level up there. That there's some interesting books written by medical hypnosis people who record some of the things that their clients have told them while under hypnosis regarding the other world. So if you want to hunt up some of those books and read some of that, that's out there.
Mm.
My closing thing was my intuition told me this group is really good for me. I mean, when you said that, what is your closing thing? It popped in. This group is so good for me, and I don't want to leave it.
Well, don't.
We're going to have to keep going forever.
Well, we're
in.
A remarkable group. Amy and I say that every week. Oh my God, what a remarkable group of women.
This is a super powerful group.
And thank you, you two, for doing so much and putting so much effort in. It's amazing. It's so great. My intuition says you have to keep going forever.
It does.
Granny J is working on it, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm amazed, honestly, how much we've grown. And what a potent, strong container we've been holding this time. And wow, it really is something else. We are like different people, different humans sitting here. It's quite
We're
something.
becoming human beings.
Yeah, becoming anthropos.
Yeah.
Wow. It's like, and each one of us have experienced such huge things, you know, and wow, it's just a real gift and honor to be together. Truly, 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 truly.
I think one of the things that's really been helpful for perhaps the group, we found it in Nashville this weekend when we had people from different cultures and different generations come together, and how important that was. And I look at this group and where we're from, and you know, our how we see the world and our professions and our spiritual lives. That diversity, I think, enriches all of us. It certainly has me, I know.
Indeed.
God, yeah.
The quote, what wasn't the quote today? Unity and diversity or something like that? Yeah.
What was the quote from?
Oh, I don't remember where I heard that today on something, but it was all about, yeah, unity and diversity.
Right. Yeah. One of our big problems is we don't interact with the diversity we have, and therefore we live in a state of fear, first, second, and third chakra, you know, and that's what's being blown up right now and causing all the kinds of problems that it has. They're getting allegiance through power and force so that they don't have to be afraid. So it's all about fear. But life, the energy of this universe is love. It's definitely love. It's definitely openness. It's definitely sharing. It's definitely togetherness. That's what it is. No
Yeah,
question.
Yeah, we've talked about
love to
diversity. I was thinking of Nashville again. We were present with 9 decades of life, the youngest one being one, the oldest 95.
Wow.
That's a pretty broad, vast,
And that's
very vast. How often
What
does
a
that happen?
beautiful way to put it.
yes,
Yeah.
that's a lot of wisdom, a lot of
Mhm.
different wisdom, you know, of different generations. Yeah.
Wow.
Grateful, grateful, grateful. Thank you, each of you. I'm so Granny J and Amy and each of you. I'm so grateful today. Um, for the collective wisdom and for each of us. And I just will share, I have to jump off, but I'm going to a seminar in a couple of weeks that is at the Carl Jung Institute here in Chicago. And it's
Oh, wow.
it is called Envisioning Portals to Opening the Unconscious. And so it
Ooh.
is all about tapping into our intuition, you know, beyond psychotherapy, beyond intellect, right? So, and it's so I'll share with you guys next time if there's anything cool that comes up. 'Cause
There better be something cool with that title.
yeah, really.
Oh
Yeah.
my.
Wow.
I just wanted to say thank you also, and thank you for all of the wonderful notes you had from the May session. I loved the New York Times article that I think was it Mary Beth that had shared it.
I already sent that out. I was
Uh-huh.
just waiting.
And, I think what made me think of that at this very moment is talking about diversity and diversity of thinking. And just that article does a beautiful job of, pulling together Eastern thinking with Western thinking in terms of medicine, and being open to think about something that we've never named before, and being willing to realize that there's so much more to us than we'll ever know while we're living in the human life. It was just an excellent article if you've not had a chance to read it. It's also pretty creatively displayed, so it keeps your interest. If you have trouble reading stuff on the computer, which is always a challenge for me, the way that they did the article is pretty cool too. So, but just thank you very much for. I know it takes a lot of effort to do that follow up, and I really appreciated being able to read everything and get prepared for tonight. So it made tonight so much, the meaningfulness of tonight. Your notes, Amy, just really helped me be in a better space for doing that than if I just come into it without. I didn't read everything, I picked a few things, so I didn't read everything. I'm so sorry.
No, never be sorry.
Okay,
You did.
I'll go
you
back.
did well.
I have more to read.
You were called to read what you were to read, and don't forget, you got a guide there.
Yeah, got a guide there. I've been having this unusual. We spent a lot of time when I was at the retreat I went to in Louisiana talking about ancestral wisdom, and at night when I can't kind of shut things down, I've had this one line of women on my dad's side that's just been like I just am really pulled in a new way. I've always been doing family history. That's not a new thing, but I'm just being pulled with this ancestral wisdom of these two lines on my dad's side. And at night, I just kind of like go back, take the line and go back as far as I can and just like try to be open. Like, okay, my container's open. If you're there, Francis and Mary, and if you all
Come talk.
come fill me up with something that I need to know. And it's amazing how relaxing it is to do that. I never remember getting to the end. I always fall asleep. So entering some kind of unconscious, subconscious state there through sleep. So it's just been a cool experience to.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful practice, Carla, that you're offering us. Thank you so much. Yeah. As we continue to connect with our guides, our ancestors. Yeah.
Yeah.
Certainly among those guides. So, with that, everybody, I'm going to ring us out.
All right.
It's been a while since we've done that. Let's ring us out. Lots of love, everybody. We'll see you in a month.
Right.
All right. See you soon.
Night.
Bye.
Hi,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Mhm.